Welcome back. Time now to focus on our personal finance corner. Hemant Rustagi of Wiseinvest Advisors is our expert for the day. Hi Hemant, thanks so much for joining us. Our first caller is Rishabh Chaturvedi. He's called us from New Delhi with his question. Hi Rishabh. Okay, Rishabh, is my voice reaching you?
Yeah.
Hi, could you tell us your question?
I quit my job to pursue an interest.
Okay.
My income has gone down by about 60% as a result. Now I have investments in 2 large cap funds, a mid cap fund, and a unit-linked insurance plan.
Okay.
So which of these should I let go?
Hemant?
Well, I think considering his current situation, it's important for him to work out a strategy as to how he can generate regular income rather than making some ad hoc decisions of, exiting from some investment option or the other. To do so, I think he needs to consider a couple of factors. One, how long the situation is likely to continue. Second, what is the size of his overall portfolio? And third, what is the gap between, what his income is and what his likely expenses are going to be. Also, since he would be requiring this regular income on for a certain period of time, I think it's also important for him to rebalance his portfolio by moving some money out of his equity investment into some debt options. Out of the 3 options that he has mentioned, the most obvious choice of exiting would be ULIP. But then it's important for him to know that he can exit from ULIP only if he has completed the minimum lock-in period. The second, as I mentioned earlier, I think it makes sense for him to move his money from these 2 equity funds into some ultra short-term funds so that he can utilize this money as and when there is a shortfall. Another option for him would be to consider whether the money that is investing through SIP into these equity funds, and if he's still continuing with that, to see whether if that money can take care of the shortfall that he has. If that is the case, then I think he can discontinue his SIP for some time and then allow the lump sum money that is there in these 2 funds to continue after rebalancing the portfolio.
Okay, so that's one query gone. Let's get in a quick SMS also. Sananda Sharma sends us an SMS from Kanpur. She needs a large sum of money urgently. She would like to know if she should get a loan or withdraw her EPF or Employment Provident Fund. Hemant?
Well, ideally speaking, both these options should be considered only as a last resort. But of course, if there is no other way that she can, get this money either from some relative or within the family or friends, I think then she has to consider one of these options. So let's begin with EPF. Yes, it is possible for her to take this money out of EPF, but there are certain conditions. Now, for example, the money can be taken out only for certain objectives, like it could be for marriage, it could be for education, it could be for medical treatment, or for buying a house or plot, or for repaying a housing loan. And for each of these, reasons, I think she has to ensure that she has completed minimum number of service. Now, for example, if the money has to be taken out for, let's say, marriage or education, then the minimum required number of service years is 7. For medical treatment, of course, there is no such restriction. And for buying a house or repaying a housing loan, rather, I think it's around 10 years. So, and within that, again, there are restrictions in terms of how much money can be taken out for each of these purposes and how many times during the service life. So I think if she meets these criteria, she can withdraw money out of EPF. If not, I'm afraid then the only option left for her is to take a personal loan. But I must add here that the personal loan is quite an expensive option.
Okay, Hemant, appreciate you joining us. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Markets and Macros from Ekta myself. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Business Lunch up next.
MCX Stock Exchange, India's new stock exchange, presents